everyone, welcome back. I'm Suman Devnath, a principal developer advocate focusing on data engineering, and I'm super excited to be back here from Las Vegas, and we are at REMAS 2022. And I'm super excited for this particular session because this is around data. This is where everything starts for data engineering. But before we kickstart, let me introduce my co-host, Brian. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, happy to. My name is Brian Terry, and I'm a senior developer advocate on the CloudFormation team, and I'm super excited to be here at REMAS Live.
Excellent. And today, to talk about AWS Data Exchange, we have our guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Kuman. Hi, everybody. I'm Devin Hurd. I'm a BD specialist on the AWS Data Exchange team. Very happy to be here in Las Vegas and excited to talk about the service.
Yeah, and hi everyone. I'm Jeremy Bensavat. I'm a senior product manager at AWS Data Exchange. Excited to be here.
Excellent. Okay, so before we dive in, we actually talked about some part of this a couple of days back when we were talking about ASDI, and we are going to touch base on that and how it relates to data exchange. But why don't you, give some background about what data exchange is about for our viewers who are new to this?
Well, absolutely. So, we decided to launch Data Exchange in 2019 because we heard from our customers that they wanted the same experience they've become accustomed to when they search for any service in Amazon or AWS. They wanted buying data just as easy. So we built a service to really make it easy to find, subscribe to, and use third-party data in the cloud. So AWS Data Exchange is a fully managed service that gives data providers a secure and compliant channel to reach new audiences, and it gives data subscribers a consolidated marketplace to find, subscribe to, and use third-party data.
Excellent.
Super interesting. I mean, this is awesome that customers can access this kind of data these days. Can you talk a little bit about how customers can find and search for this data?
Absolutely. So working with data is difficult, especially when you look at some of the use cases out there. Many of our customers have dozens, if not hundreds, of separate licensing agreements with vendors from many different data categories. That becomes incredibly challenging. Not only do you have to maintain individual license agreements with each of those providers, but you also have to worry about individual integrations, and that can become unwieldy and complicated. So we built the service to really streamline that process and streamline the data discovery process. And that's what we really are excited to announce this week at REMAS, is the integration of the ASDI, or Amazon Sustainability Data Initiative. The free and open data that's available through that program is now discoverable in Data Exchange.
Excellent.
So what that offers our customers is a unified experience, a single pane of glass where they can go to find premium data, free sample data, and some of the most important scientific and research data available in the market today.
Excellent. So I think this is pretty interesting because a couple of days back here at REMAS, we talked about ASDI, right? And we realized that how important that initiative is, because here we are talking about gigabytes and petabytes of data. It's not a small amount of data that you can have in your system or laptop, and this is all real data, right? So it's not a dummy data to play around, right? So you touched upon ASDI. So can you just explain to our viewers, what that actually means? You mentioned that now we can easily search that data in the data exchange. So is that so what was the challenge that we faced before, and now what it basically means for data exchange?
Yeah, Kumar. So really, data is at the core of sustainability practices. More now than ever, we need quality data readily available in the cloud to help us address some of the most pressing challenges of our time. Climate change being front and foremost. And the ASD program is essentially accelerating access to that data. So AWS covers the cost of storage, and when you're looking at petabytes of data, that's an incredible public benefit. So this is data for the public good. And by having it available through the data exchange, you can natively integrate those products into your downstream services for analytics. So we're essentially not only streamlining the acquisition of data, but streamlining access to insights. By having the data be delivered alongside the rest of your technology stack, you can more quickly generate accurate insights. And I think a great example of that is our work that we've been doing with Digital Earth Africa. So Digital Earth Africa has partnered with the University of Zanzibar and the national government of Tanzania to monitor deforestation across mangroves. And this is data that was previously inaccessible to many research organizations throughout Africa. And by providing this data through the data exchange, they're able to quickly access updates and monitor in near real time changes to the environment.
Excellent.
This is very cool because this seems kind of a recurring theme that you guys are enabling customers to get this data, actually breaking down these walls and like helping them push innovation. On that note, can you talk a little bit about some examples of how customers are using the data found on the data exchange?
Yeah, well, I wanted to address a couple of things there that I think it's important to acknowledge, is that not only is the data exchange a location where you can go and find free and open data, but we also have what we call premium data or paid data from various categories. If you think about healthcare and life sciences, they rely on massive amounts of data to develop new drugs and to understand the effect on the population. And when you look at the sort of way that data is ingested, we've actually released 3 separate delivery mechanisms in the data exchange. So we have file-to-file based, or S3 bucket to S3 bucket, so file-based delivery. We have API delivery, so we can support APIs. And we also include support for Amazon Redshift, our cloud data warehouse product.
Oh, okay.
And that's incredibly valuable, especially to the HCLS community, where they're using this data to develop new drugs and to do drug research. And by having the data delivered in analysis-ready format, in the form of tables through our Redshift cloud data warehouse, they have access to the latest revisions as they're made. So as soon as a provider updates that data, all the downstream applications are instantly updated, and that's incredibly powerful.
Excellent. So basically, the data is, we in machine learning or analytics, we spend hours and days to clean the data, to make the data usable, to even, do some processing in the downstream in our data pipeline. But here, we can get all the data in one single place, which can be accessed through multiple compute resources, as you rightly mentioned, to Redshift and many other services. And you don't move the data, so data remains at the same place.
That's right.
And one more point to add here is, I guess, we don't own the data, right? So the data is owned by the third party, right? So we don't even touch the data, right? So so this is a great place to just make use of the platform. If you are into data analysis or data engineering, or you want to build some solutions using these data sets, right? So
absolutely.
So I think you mentioned about ASDI on AWS Data Exchange. So would you like to show us how we can get started with this, and maybe in the console, or how to get started basically?
Yeah. Right now I'm on the website of Data Exchange. So we're gonna start browsing and seeing all the data sets available. So you can see now that I'm on the AWS Marketplace, really focused on delivering data in the data exchange. So you can find more than 3,000 products across 250 plus providers already that we had in the catalog. Some are free, some are paid. And this is what we were just mentioning, right? You have different delivery types, whether you want to consume the data in an S3 or a Redshift or APIs. So right now, what we want to focus is we've worked and recently announced that we have all the catalog of ASDI is now searchable in the marketplace and in Data Exchange. And that represents more than 100 petabytes of valuable data for research and for different uses. So so let's go together and filter on ASDI, and you can see all the product listings that are associated with the Amazon Sustainability Data Initiative. We have data sets from NOAA here, Synergize. So we can essentially search through them, have also separate categories if you're interested in resources data, location, environmental. We help and build filters such that you can find the right data that is right for your application and helping you answer the questions that you need to answer. So this is the catalog that we currently have for ASDI, and but let's actually take a look at what a product looks like. And so, if we're going into this is the listing of one of the listings that we have from NOAA. we can see the description, what information is here, what does the data mean, right?
Yeah.
So that anyone can come, any researcher can come and start looking through the description to understand if this is what they need or if, and how to use the data. As you can see, the license is open, so there's really no restriction. You can have this, and here I'm not using any AWS account, so anyone really can come and search and find this data. You can find other information here, and really what's essential is you're finding here the different resources that you have. So these are open buckets. You have the Amazon resource name, the RN, that you can use and then start investigating into the data, start using it into your other applications. Or if you prefer, you can use the command line and start pulling the data in your environment such that you don't need any AWS accounts for it. So really the idea to make it open to everyone here.
Excellent. So it seems like we have the data in place on S3 bucket. So now, if I'm doing some research or maybe I am a data scientist and I want to do some analysis for my business, I can use EMR and use this S3 bucket as my data storage, and maybe I can do the analysis and processing through Spark, right? So I don't have to worry about the data part, right? So it's all there.
Completely. The big part that the program ASDI has worked on is how to make this cloud optimized data ready for you to use in a public S3 bucket. So you just need the name of the S3 and can have access to the data for your usage. So
Excellent.
Yeah, I think we spoke with that team the other day, and they were saying that you don't even have to have an AWS account to access this data, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we've also heard from customers really finding data commercial and free and having it all in one place is really game changer for them, such that they can find the data that they need in the quickest way possible.
Yeah. Not only the discovery aspect of it, which is really important, but the consolidation. So we built the user interface to be really easy to use, right? You're able to monitor and track all of your subscriptions across a number of different vendors. Your billing's consolidated on your AWS invoice, and you can set up access to automated revisions. So it takes away a lot of that technical overhead and the undifferentiated heavy lifting of managing third-party license agreements. Yeah. Frees up more time for you to focus on generating insights.
Yeah, I mean, even cleaning the data, there's like a lot of expense in cleaning petabytes of data and time too. So I can just see it's just saving customers a lot of time and money just using the service. I mean, this is great.
All our providers are vetted. I think that's important for the audience to understand too. We want to make sure that there's quality data and that data is compliant with security standards. I think that's very important today. Obviously, there's concerns about third-party data in the data brokering community. AWS is committed to security and committed to making sure that the data we have on the exchange is fully compliant.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah, so I think one of the things that I really want to highlight today is, which we mentioned a couple of days back here at AWS on Air, that we're also running an Amazon Sustainability Data Initiative, that is ASDI Global Hackathon. And if you want to explore this AWS Data Exchange, you may like to enroll yourself in the hackathon as well, and you can win prizes. And that way, you can learn and also deliver something in a much meaningful way. So, I think the hackathon is up and running now, and the last date is August 30th, 2022. So I just thought to bring that up so that...
Thank you for mentioning that. I mean, there's $100,000 up for grabs, so I hope the audience hears the message loud and clear. There's some really powerful data out there. And one thing I wanted to add is me and my team are increasingly acting as a service on behalf of our customers, where if you have a need or a specific data requirement and you've maybe struggled to find it in the open marketplace, you're welcome to reach out to me or my team, or you can go to the data discovery desk that's accessible through the AWS Data Exchange website and submit a request, or maybe even give us some context on what you're trying to achieve with your data, and we'll help source that from our network of providers.
Oh, wow. This is super interesting, right? Because most of the time, in building any product or solution, we seek for data, and especially quality data, as you rightly mentioned. So this is I personally did not know this, that we have this service available for our customers. This is amazing. All right, so before we wrap up, is there any last thoughts or comments that you would like to give, for our viewers to take a note and, before they get started?
Well, I would say that, it goes without saying that at AWS, 90% of what we build is based on what we hear from our customers. We're obsessed with our customers. And the other 10% is us inferring, what do our customers really need?
Yeah.
And right now, the AWS Data Exchange is the only marketplace for data that offers delivery formats, file-based, table-based, and APIs. And we continue to improve the product with new feature enhancements and new capabilities based on what we hear our audience want. So if you're in the data science community, or if you're interested in learning more about data, we urge you to reach out to us and bring us your questions and what you'd like to see added to the exchange, and we'll get working. Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah. This was the first step that we did with working with the SDI and Data Exchange, and so first step of many, hopefully, and many more things coming. So.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm assuming it's going to grow. I mean, data is going to grow, so this thing will grow.
So important, so important. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So thank you so much for joining us, and we are signing off now, and stick around for the next